Hola, and welcome to Career Confident Mujer, the podcast designed for jefas and jefitas of the professional world, the first generation professionals. From triumphs to challenges, we're here to share the stories that inspire you to become the jefa of your dreams. Welcome back to another episode of Career Confident Mujer. And let me tell you, I cannot believe it's already July. Where has the time gone? Me, myself, I have been personally really busy. I've been booked and busy, y'all, and it has been really good. I just attended NALEAP's 25th Anniversary Media Summit. And NALEAP is a national association for Latino independent producers. So I was hired recently to help out with career coaching for those that are in the media industry, from producers to directors to screenwriters, and help coach them and provide them guidance so that they can be successful in their careers. It was an amazing time. I was out in Hollywood Thursday and Friday. I got to meet many men and women, and it was so exciting being able to really see where people come from, their diverse backgrounds, their stories, and really be able to help them understand how they can share their story and their vision with others so that they can gain the business that they want. And throughout my entire career coaching sessions, it hit me on what I should be focusing on today for the podcast episode, which is the importance of treating yourself like a business. Now, it is easy for us to get wrapped into working for somebody else and not really thinking about our own career journey, not really thinking about how we are exposing ourselves in the career world and how are we building our professional brand. A lot of the times we just get stuck on our current organization, our current roles, our responsibilities, and we stay there and we don't think about what our next step is. And we're not necessarily being intentional about building our professional brand and our identity. So many times we can be lost on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and really be more about professional development. But we're not that great at putting ourselves out there and sharing about our wins. Especially being a first-gen professional, we're taught that you should be humble, that calladita te ves más bonita. But you know what? In reality, it's about those that brag are the ones that make it, right? So many times we can be either, there's a perfect example is there could be two people within an organization. One that is a hard worker, behind the scenes, always working hard, taking on additional projects. And then there's one that does average, but also hypes himself up a lot. In meetings, they talk about themselves, they talk about what they can do, even though they don't bring that much to the table. Now, as first-gen professionals, we can often think, well, if we work hard, we will be seen. And that's not how it works. Did you know that the person that was that average person that bragged about themselves and highlighted their strengths, they are more likely to be offered the job position than the person that's behind the scenes working their butt off, all because they're not actively out there hyping themselves up as the other person is. And I don't want you going your career working hard, overworking in some cases, and not getting the perks of advancing within your career or getting paid what you deserve. So today, I want to talk to you about how you should treat yourself like a business. Now, if you were to think about yourself as a business, I want you to really think. A business has a public relations department, a marketing department, an accounting department. They have all these different departments that help them function. And as an individual, we can often see ourselves within these organizations or in our own career spaces and not really treat ourselves like all of the departments. Now, let's think about, what does a business really entail? Now, a business is always going to think about things that set themselves up for success, and they aren't just following their heart, they have a full on business plan. Now, within a business, you're going to have a public relations, a marketing team, an accounting team. You're going to have all of these different departments ensuring that the organization succeeds. Now, who does that for you? Now, when you think about it, are you just working hard and putting in overtime, but you haven't used any of your vacation hours? Are you not resting? You need to do that. Normally, HR would call you and tell you, like, girl, you're overdone on hours. You need to take a vacation. So, if this is your sign and you have not done that recently, I'm your HR office calling you and making sure that you take the time that you need. Also, what about your marketing? Are you marketing yourself? Are you really setting yourself out there and standing up in meetings, sharing on LinkedIn what you're doing? This past weekend, I was working with a lot of different individuals, some that were in internships, some that were being contracted like freelancers, and some working for organizations. And all of them had one thing in common. They were all preparing themselves for the next steps in their career. They knew they wanted more, but when I asked them, how is their social media presence? They didn't have any. They barely had a resume that was up to date. And secondly, the resume that's online, like LinkedIn, where you can create a network with tons of professionals that are in your community, and you can continuously update them about what's going on and all of your accomplishments, they were not utilizing it. I want you to remember that as a business, you got to stay ready for an opportunity. If someone were to come to you today and offer you your dream position, does your online identity match that? Like, if they were looking into you and said, I want that person as a director, and they looked you up on LinkedIn, would you have enough to support you becoming a director, or is it outdated? Do you talk to people about your strengths and let them know that you want career advancement? If you don't, then no one's going to know to pick you out of the crowd. You need to treat yourself like a business. Stop making decisions that are coming out of your heart and not really your heart, your mind, and treating yourself like a business. You need to make sure that you're making decisions that makes the entire team happy. A lot of times people will stay in jobs where they know there is no growth, where they know they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they stay in these jobs because of the comfort. But at the same time, if you were really a business, would you make the decision for yourself that you needed to leave? Or are you partnering with people that are wasting your time? You need to realize that time is money, Wilhead, and you do not need to be wasting giving yourself into an organization that doesn't reciprocate that same energy back. So, I want you to start thinking of yourself as a business. What would that take for you to be a successful business? And who are you firing? Are you firing your marketing team, your accounting team? Who are you firing? Who is not living up to par right now? And take a step back. A lot of times when we are so passion driven, we can just get caught up in the moment of loving our jobs, loving the people that we work with, but we're no longer making decisions that make sense for us long term. So I want to make sure that as a first gen professional, you are not just giving yourself fully into these organizations without really thinking about how you are benefiting from these relationships. Sometimes it also means that you need to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself, whether it's professional development, whether it's career coaching, you need to be able to build yourself up so that you can gain the knowledge and the expertise in order for you to be successful in your field. Stop thinking of yourself as just an individual that works within the organization, just another resume, and start thinking of yourself as your own business owner. What is your identity? What are you known for? What is your brand? These are all things that you should be thinking about. A lot of times, as people are working 9 to 5s, they don't think of that. They think it only applies to those that are entrepreneurs or owning their own business, but that's where it's wrong. You need to be starting to think of yourself as a business entity. You need to start thinking about retirement, 401k, and all of the things that will make you a successful business. And what does that mean to you? For me, if I was a successful business owner, I would be retired by the age of 45. Could that be a goal of mine? Sure. But then that also means that I have to work backwards and realize what will my salary need to be, what I need to be investing into my investment accounts, my retirement funds, and how do I get to that next level. So you create your business plan, which in my case would be your career development plan. You can always download a career development guide that I've built just for you to help you understand your career trajectory, where you've been, and where you want to go. So I have tons of guides and workbooks available for you on my website. You can click the link below and you'll be able to provide yourself with the career clarity that you need in order to navigate with ease and make sure that you're thinking of everything you need to think about in order to develop your career plan. Now, if you've never thought about a career plan, you should start projecting out. Let's do it for 3 years. Start there. Where do you see yourself at the end of 3 years? What are the skill sets that you need to develop? All of those things should be a part of your business plan. They should be things that you're intentional about in order to make sure that you are a successful business owner. So I don't care if you're working for somebody else. I want to make sure that you are set for success. What happens when one day that job calls you and tells you that you are laid off and you have not been building yourself up as a business and you're only in it for that organization and you don't have any identity beyond your current role? That means you're stuck. You are stuck and not setting yourself up for your career growth. And I want you to start thinking about that now. Treat yourself like a business starting today and don't wait for the opportunity that you are stuck with making decisions and being left alone without an organization to back you up and starting from ground zero, trying to figure out who you are, what you want for your life, and instead start thinking of yourself as a business now. And you can prepare yourself to handle any barriers that come your way because you've already thought about it. You've already built connections with people. You've already building your identity online. You have your updated resume. You have your updated LinkedIn. You are ready for any opportunity that comes your way. Not only is treating yourself like a business going to help prepare you for the future, but it also helps you develop a foundation of who you are. Now, part of businesses, they have their mission statement, their value statement, and their vision statement. And I want you to start thinking about what is your mission? What is your why? Why do you do things? Because that will help you establish the foundation for your career. You need to be able to understand what your vision, your values are. And when you build those and you've established them, you will be able to clearly identify and articulate your strengths in any meeting. Because once you know who you are able to clearly reiterate that to someone in your job, whether it's your supervisor, whether it's a future employer. If you understand what your mission and your values and your vision are, you become so much more stronger in your decision making skills. I work with a lot of first gen professionals, and one of the biggest things they struggle with is imposter syndrome and not understanding how they can articulate themselves and stand out. And they really struggle with fitting in an office space and making sure that they're authentic to who they are. And I always say the same thing. My advice is you need to establish the foundation of who you are so that you know what you stand for, so that you are not easily shaken up. So I hope this encourages you to start building your career success by developing a business plan, developing a business structure that you take into consideration that your dreams, your goals are not just thoughts, but they're actionable steps that you can actually reach with planning and intentional effort. So I want you to download the Career Development Workbook and get started on your mission, your vision, your values, and start analyzing all the different departments that you have for a business, and who are you needing to fire? Who are you needing to get back up and build a structure with? And make sure that you're not just taking yourself lightly. You have a vision, you have a purpose in this world, and it deserves to be shined and shown to everyone. I hope this encourages you to treat yourself like a business, because you got this, mujer. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Career Confident Mujer. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to fuel your own career journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Remember, you are not alone on this path. Take care and remember that you deserve it, mujer.